this is Maxim. Welcome back. Today's lesson of Piatti Cello School is about varieties of tone. The artistic interpretation of music depends on, among other things, the varieties of tone color introduced. They bear a similar relation to music as the various shades of color do to painting. Increase of tone depend on the three important points which should be carefully noted. They all come from the action of the bow. Point number one, increasing pressure on the string. Let's try to play on the open D string. I was trying just to use the weight of the bow, merely moving the bow along the string. You could hear there was little sound produced this way. Now I'll try to give more pressure when the bow is moving towards middle part of the bow. You could hear the increase in volume, although to my taste the sound quality in the middle part of the bow wasn't the best. Point number two, changing the distance between a bow and the bridge. So let's talk about this. First, I move the bow much closer to the bridge. In music we call it sul ponticello. It doesn't make very pleasant sound. Actually, you don't hear main part of the note, you just hear mostly overtones. Now, if you move bow too far from the bridge, we'll get the opposite effect, which is called sul tasto. You can hear the sound is quite nice and smooth, but it lacks clarity. And we can use it only to get very specific color. Point number three, changing the speed of the bow. You could hear the relation between the speed and amount of the sound you hear. When you move the bow with a slow bow speed, you make little sound. With the same amount of pressure and the same distance between the bow and the bridge, just increasing the bow speed will give you much bigger volume of the sound. All those 3 points we just talked about are rarely used separately. You usually want to achieve some kind of combination, mixture of those 3 to get the sound you want. It takes some time to get used to it, but it's very important to be aware of the ways you can change the sound quality. exercise number 4 by Datsauer. In this exercise, we will use 3 different kinds of bow stroke. First will be martelet. Martelet is the bow stroke with very clear, explosive beginning of the sound. You put a lot of pressure at the beginning of the bow stroke, use very fast bow speed, and release the pressure almost immediately. Usually we use the upper part of the bow to play martelet. Make sure you make some rest between each bow stroke. The third line, legato. And the last line, détaché. Now let's play the entire etude. Now let's play together. Tempo, quarter note, 80. the exercise on different strings. We'll try to start slow and then we'll gradually increase the speed and volume. Let's try on other strings. When we play melodic minor scales, we should pay attention that we have to use different notes on the way up and down. The notes number 6 and 7 in melodic minor scales are always half a step higher than the same notes on the way down. So, in A melodic minor, on the way up we'll have F sharp and G sharp. And the way down we'll play G natural and F natural. The same rule will apply to all minor melodic scales. Pay attention to the step number 6 and 7 in all minor melodic scales. A minor melodic scale and arpeggio. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new. Please stay in touch, subscribe to my channel, like this video or dislike, comment, and maybe support it with Patreon. You'll find the link in the description. Thank you so much. See you soon.